They said the planet was dead. No atmosphere, no pulse, no sound. Just a frozen wasteland orbiting a forgotten star. But Commander Eli Vance would learn that silence can be deceptive, because sometimes the most dangerous thing in the universe isn't what moves, but what watches. His shuttle crashed 3 days ago. The sky above him had the color of rust and the air tasted like static. His life support suit was running on its last hours. The temperature dropped every night until frost crawled up the inside of his visor. He'd stopped sending distress signals. He knew no one was coming, but then he heard laughter. Not human laughter, lighter, sharper, layered with a tone that almost sang. It echoed through the wreckage carried by the thin wind. He turned, flashlight trembling in his hand. The sound stopped. Only the hum of his oxygen regulator remained. He told himself it was delirium. Hypoxia. The brain playing tricks in the dark, until he saw her. She stood where the light met shadow, tall, graceful, skin that shimmered like liquid glass. Her eyes glowed faintly, not from reflection but from within. She tilted her head, studying him as though he were some curious specimen she'd never seen before. Eli's voice cracked through the helmet speaker. "Identify yourself." No response. Just that same faint smile, a curve that was neither kind nor cruel. Then she spoke, softly, her words bending around his translator like smoke. "You shouldn't wear that shell," she whispered. "It hides what you are." Before he could react, every warning light on his suit flared red. The systems failed all at once, the seals unlocking, the temperature plummeting, his visor shattering from within. He gasped, stumbling back, lungs filling with air that should have killed him. But it didn't. The air was breathable. She'd stripped the protection from his body, and somehow the planet obeyed her. He was standing in a world that should have frozen him solid, and yet he felt warmth. The kind that came from her presence. "What did you do?" he demanded. Her eyes flickered like a pulse. "You were never in danger, only in hiding." He looked down at his ruined armor, the shattered fragments of his helmet scattered across the ash. He felt exposed, small, human. And for the first time in his life, he didn't feel like the explorer anymore. He felt like the discovered. For hours, she said nothing more. She only watched him. When he moved, her head turned slightly, as though cataloging each gesture. When he spoke, she blinked, as if processing not just his words but the emotion behind them. Night fell. The sky filled with ribbons of violet lightning that never touched the ground. The air trembled with strange harmonics like the sound of distant singing. She didn't seem bothered by it. She just lifted her hand and the lightning dimmed. He realized then, she wasn't surviving this world. She was controlling it. Days passed, or what felt like days. She guided him to a structure half buried in ice, ancient, carved from black stone that hummed when he approached. Inside, walls glowed faintly, showing patterns that shifted like living code. She traced one of them with her fingers. It rippled like water. "Your kind built walls around the void," she murmured. Hours learned to listen to it. He couldn't tell if she was mocking him or trying to teach him. Everything she said seemed to come from a place far beyond human understanding. Eli began to notice the changes. His body healed faster than it should. His pulse slowed when she was near. He stopped feeling hunger or thirst or fatigue. But the trade-off was stranger. He started hearing whispers, not voices, more like the world itself was breathing words directly into his mind. Stay. Observe. Understand. He caught his reflection in one of the black walls one day and froze. His eyes were faintly luminescent like hers. He confronted her. "What are you doing to me?" She smiled, a small knowing thing. "Making you honest." Her language didn't have words for fear or pain, only for change. To her, transformation was the same as truth, but Eli didn't want to be part of her truth. He tried to run. He found the wreck of his shuttle, torn open like a rib cage. He activated the emergency beacon, but the signal never left the planet. The sky bent the radio waves, folded them back, swallowed them whole, and when he turned, she was standing there again. No anger, no threat, just disappointment. "You still think there's somewhere else to go," she said. "You still think distance means freedom," he shouted at her, words that barely made sense, born of fear and exhaustion. She listened quietly, then walked closer until the air between them shimmered. "Humans wrap themselves in armor," she said. "Metal, words, pride. I only took away the first layer." He realized then that the entire time she'd never physically touched him. Every effect, His suit's failure, the breathable air, the silence of his transmitter, had come from her will alone. When he asked her name, she hesitated. Names are cages, but if it calms you, call me Nira. He remembered that name for the rest of his life. That night, he woke to find her kneeling beside him. Her hand hovered just above his chest. His heartbeat slowed, not by fear, but because she was syncing it with hers. He could feel her pulse inside his body. "Why are you doing this?" he whispered. She tilted her head. "Because you dream of control, but you never learned surrender." The next morning, the wreckage of his shuttle was gone, buried under smooth, untouched ice. Nira led him across plains that glowed from beneath the surface, like veins of energy feeding something deep below. He saw shapes moving in the distance. Giant silhouettes, humanoid but transparent, like ghosts walking beneath the crust of the planet. When he pointed, she only said, "Echoes of what we used to be." He began to understand that she wasn't just a survivor. She was a remnant of something vast, a civilization that existed on the edge of matter and thought. The others had ascended, leaving her behind to guard the skin of the world, as she called it. He asked her why she stayed. Her eyes dimmed. To remember. Weeks passed, though time no longer felt real. He started hearing her even when she wasn't near, soft thoughts brushing the edges of his mind. She didn't speak in sentences, but in sensations. The feeling of weightless water, of a sun rising under the sea, of glass bending to music. And slowly, fear turned into something stranger. Fascination. He realized that the more he understood her, the more human concepts began to lose meaning. Breath, hunger, sleep, distance, even self. When she laughed again, it didn't sound alien anymore. It